Alright, this video, I'm just going to talk about my eating habits and it's been holding me back and what I've been doing to improve the situation. Now, I'm not sure exactly what it is, and I'm sure everyone has this to some degree, but there is people that'll eat anything, and then there's people that are picky eaters, and it's kind of like a spectrum. Some people are in the middle somewhere. I'm very obsessive about the texture of food. It's not even taste. I can handle any taste, really, but texture and how wet it is kind of bothers me. And it's the same with my clothes. I wear very similar clothes every day, and it's because the fabric, if it doesn't fit right and it doesn't feel a certain way on my skin, it drives me insane. I have a very certain way of doing things. It's very OCD. It's very ritualized. And it's held me back because you want to go eat socially with people. And I can't really do that without embarrassing myself in some way or really opening up myself to attacks or being the annoying guy saying I can only go to this restaurant, and it's because of this. And then people don't really want to hang out with you when you do that. Also, and probably the bigger problem is on the nutrition front, because I get very low blood sugar, low energy, because I'm not eating fruit. I found recently that eggs have been kind of a godsend and they've sustained me. But I go through these kind of cycles of foods that I really obsess about, and then I don't eat them anymore for a while, and it kind of goes back to the staple of milk and cereal and multivitamins, basically. And part of this is probably how I was raised, because it was always milk, cereal, and multivitamins when I was growing up. There wasn't really any home-cooked meals. There's the occasional frozen pizza. And I'm a grown man, so I can't really blame it all on that, but that's the roots of where I came from. The other problem, and the bigger problem, which I already touched on, is the textures of the food that bother me. It's hard to try little amounts of food because it's so expensive now and you don't want to risk. But anyways, so what I've been doing to correct this is I've been buying things like basil, which is cheap. It's a green. I can get used to the texture in my mouth. So when I'm kind of not going through the motions of bad habits, cycling through Instagram shorts and wasting my time, when I'm really on my game and I want to do some cognitive behavior therapy, I'll stick some basil in my mouth, I'll chew it, I'll get used to the leafy greens, the texture, the way it tastes, but the taste isn't really a concern too much. And it kind of helps rewrite the pathways of my brain. That's at least how it was explained to me when I was younger. And I'm getting on top of this now because I've noticed I can't sustain proper energy levels. I probably have the hugest gaps in my nutrition profile. I'm probably deficient in... I was going to spit out a random number, pull it out of my ass, but I can't even comprehend how many vitamins I'm probably deficient in. And I was basically trying to be a bodybuilder like 5 years ago with all these nutrition deficiencies. Like, I was probably doing everything right in the gym, but I wasn't getting the proper vitamin intake and a genetic component. And then also I wasn't on steroids, so that's a component too. But I've always kind of went along with, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to eat added sugars, and that's going to make up for this. I'm going to take some supplements, some multivitamins, but it's not really cutting it anymore. I want to get more into the trades. And you can't really be a picky eater in the trades. It's like an extreme example would be the military. You can't be a picky eater in the military. You got to eat what's in front of you. And I guess a certain element of it is I'm a man now. I can't be kind of eating like a baby. I can't be relying on protein shakes. So I got to get this under wraps. And as I alluded to earlier, I get kind of with the Instagram shorts sometimes. I kind of put it off sometimes. And I put it off for a very long time. I'm kind of healing emotionally right now. This might have some emotional connotation to it as well, because I can't really eat in general in a social setting because I get so much anxiety just being around people. It upsets my stomach, and then I can't really digest or eat in front of people. I'm very self-conscious that way. I don't really share food. I don't do the table hopping. It's kind of like a whole, like I'm in the red when it comes to eating it around people. So I got to work on these things. I got to work on them fast because life is swallowing up a whole lot of people. And I think this might have to do with why some people are alcoholics and some people turn to drugs, is because they just don't know how to take care of themselves. I guess that's somewhat obvious. They don't have proper eating habits. They don't have a proper structure. They don't have proper roots. And I'm kind of trying to rebuild that for myself. And I think nutrition is such a huge thing. You look across all Western countries, even countries that aren't Western now, the obesity rates are crazy. People kind of are like me. They're picky eaters a lot, and they're just substituting real food for Coca-Cola, which just fills your stomach up with acids and sugars and all kinds of basically chemicals. I believe one of the chemicals in Coca-Cola is used to clean blood off of roads after accidents. At least I saw that in some sort of meme. So I really got to get this under control. One of the safer foods that's plant-based is an orange for me. I like the clementine orange. Basil seems kind of safe. I've had a weird phobia against apples for most of my life. There's something about an apple, that the texture of it, maybe it's that you have to bite into it and it's hard, and then it's mushy in the inside, and it kind of confuses and overwhelms me from a sensory type of standpoint. And that's one of the reasons why I believe that I'm somewhere on the autistic spectrum, maybe Asperger's or something. That the clothes, the daily rituals, kind of eye contact, stiff around people. So I do think I have Asperger's or some form of autism. But I got to, also a lot of this is OCD, but I got to work on this, and I got to work on it somewhat aggressively. I find the times that I've went at this more aggressively in the past, I set myself up for failures and disappointments, because then you're like, I really got to get this under wraps. I got to like David Goggins this sort of mentality to it, before he was even a thing though. And then I set myself up for failure, because then I can't hit the marks. And not only can I not hit the marks, but like eating sauerkraut or something like this, like this is something that I should have been able to master when I was 10 years old, not when I'm 30. So now I failed the mark, and there's a sense of embarrassment and shame that comes along with it. So I gotta have a new routine. I gotta replace my old bad habits with good habits. Instead of having like a protein shake, instead of like an actual full course meal with all the food tables, and just do the protein shake and skip it with a multivitamin or something. I gotta stop doing that. I'm skipping these meals with the protein shake, multivitamin. I'm going on Instagram. I'm looking at the feed there. I need to break those habits, and I need to find some way out of that negative feedback loop. And I gotta get used to different textures in my mouth. I gotta I gotta set realistic goals, and I gotta follow through, because I can't be going into middle age now basically and not eating any fruits or vegetables. It's weird. I can't be the guy that's just always eating chicken nuggets, and then I'm trying to do active things. I'm trying to make money in the trades, which is labor. I need to feed and fuel myself properly. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me mentally either. I've been supplementing with creatine, lion's mane, trying to get the mental thing, but it's not always fully there. It has brought me back a little bit from my whole SSRI marijuana thing that I was going through. But anyways, this is my video on nutrition, my autism, OCD, eating habits, whichever it is, what I got to do to overcome it. It's a challenge. It shouldn't be a challenge. It seems easy. It's something that's embarrassing, and I don't really know what to do with it, but this is my video, just sharing it. Don't know if posting a YouTube video about it's the best thing, but that's where I'm at with this, and I'm going to end this right at 10 minutes. Hope everyone's doing well.